Chat, here we go. Daniel versus Evoh. In the final round that we will be covering today, that is. There are 5 total rounds. 3 of them played today. Daniel and Evoh come into this matchup, and as somebody pointed out in chat, a true classic matchup. Daniel versus Evoh on the Feer channel. Is there anything that feels more at home? But you might be surprised to see that Daniel is currently the Dan-mobile. He is in the Batmobile, something that he has actually done on occasion in the past, and he used that to win his Game 5 against Beast Mode. So he's going to stick in it here against Evoh. Now, if you're wondering how the event has been going for both Daniel and Evoh up until this point, well, Daniel is 2-0 and Evoh 0-2. In fact, there are 3 players who are all 2-0 and 3 players who are all 0-2, as Daniel's going to allow this bounce dribble off of the air. I guess it's not really a bounce dribble, it's an air dribble, but he missed that corner boost. I was looking at the results. I see now on the replay why. But Daniel, Chronic, and Wavy all up 2-0, and Evoh, Beast Mode, Zapatos all down 0-2. So we will see if anything changes. I think Beast Mode and Zapatos are playing each other, so one of them are getting a win, and Wavy and Chronic are playing each other, so one of them is getting a loss. But we could see this game go as the trend has been going, which is Daniel winning against Evoh will put him 3-0 and Evoh 0-3. But you guys might remember the previous Salt Mine as Evoh scores to take a lead. Stage 1 of the previous Salt Mine. I believe Daniel and Evoh actually in the same pool for that one, and Evoh getting the win. I'm double checking on that. Actually, no, I take it back. He lost in Game 5. It was one of the only ones he didn't win. He did beat, apparently, I'm trying to look. Evoh got, he beat AJ. Maybe AJ was the big one that he didn't normally beat. Oh, and apparently Jack. Apparently Jack and AJ. But he did not beat Daniel. He's always had a tough time beating Daniel, and that's not going to change today, as Daniel able to tie it up. Daniel, he has been doing these dribbles where he gets the ball started with a flip near the ground, and so many different people would fall to the ground. Instead, he just uses his boost to keep the dribble going, just inches above landing. We will start a prediction, and we'll give you guys just a short amount of time to predict on it. Since we have already started the series, it has been a close start. You guys have a minute to put some money down on who you think might win. Daniel lost control of it there at the midfield, allowing the long shot for Evoh. By the way, shout out to Shondo, who redeemed his VIP 4 minutes ago. It happened between games, but that's a big thing, man. Not easy to get VIP on the channel, so it should be noted. And shout out Flipped a Bit for the 29-month Tier 1. Appreciate you as well. Daniel trying to pull off his air dribble. Could not get the 50. Evoh wants to wait to tap this as late as possible, but he actually could have waited even longer. Daniel had already immediately left to steal the boost, and he will get a reset to tap in the lead over the top of Evoh. Daniel trying to pre-flip into the midfield boost. He actually pogoed off the wall without anything to work with, but he was going to bring it right to him in that back corner. Daniel, interesting, threatening the reset, just goes for the tap. Evoh has that read. It's going to take a miracle to get Daniel to bring this ball back on target, but he's done enough. Not allowed Evoh an easy counter. Daniel set it to himself into the air. Resets. Cannot wave dash into the bottom right corner. Instead, he'll do it again. He's just protecting the ball. He's not bringing it towards Evoh at all. Evoh's been playing passive, so he just follows the bounce to the ground. Just showing that he could win the 50 if Evoh ever does make contact with the ball, but Evoh just goes flying by. Evoh down 2, gonna make it down 1 with this kickoff, even off the pool shot from Daniel. Daniel, a little pop over the top of Evoh in the corner. Evoh got lost back there. Finding yourself reversing deep in the opponent's corner is never a good position to be in. Not one that often turns out your way. Daniel, man, he's going to boom a ball to make it 7-4. Little ground pinch to get the extra power. Daniel, huge lob. Forcing some boost out of Evoh. He tried to go for a nasty full field psycho. Seen a lot of attempted psychos in show matches. Not a lot of successful psychos as Daniel tries to go across the whole field, and he does so. The side flip accelerates the ball just outside the net. And yeah, I know Evoh is a guy who is quick to recognize when he has lost. Oh, that's right. You got to click it. You got to click it with your... For some reason, you can't hit X on a controller. But game number 1 going to go to Daniel as he wins 8-4. Daniel continuing to find success in the Batmobile. Undefeated in it, at least today, I assume. Actually, I'm not sure how many times he might have brought it out in previous series, but we saw him switch to it in Game 5 against Beast Mode. I believe that was the series right before this one. So Daniel sticking with it and is rewarded. There are a few different versions of Daniel in the 1v1 world. I guess Octane is just the standard Daniel. Although really, Dan Droid is not just when he plays in the Fennec, but when he plays without air roll, which he has done on occasion. And now there's Dan Mobile as well. Evoh really just trying to prepare for any sort of challenge or 50 in this back corner. And Daniel forgot that he's playing on the slowest hitbox in the game. He thought he was going to get a chip on that. No, sir. You are a piece of paper on the ground. You're going to slide right underneath the ball. Evoh thought maybe Daniel was going to try and punish a pre-jump to that corner. Because by all means, Evoh should have recovered it and tried to cover the open space. But instead, he kind of reversed and just left it free. I wonder if he was trying to be one step ahead. Needs to run the Blue McQueen, and we could have Dino Kodan. As he played any McQueen, I know that Johnny, you said that we might see Daniel McQueen. And I don't know if that's from him having actually played it already in Salt Mine so far, or if that was just trying to make a guess. Always scary to see the Batmobile carrying the ball. The flicks are filthy on the Batmobile. It doesn't take a lot of precision either. You don't need to be nearly as mechanically perfect to get the power. Evoh chased out from possession as he grabs the midfield boost, and Daniel's going to go the distance. He's actually shown that his aerial game has not been hurt at all by playing in a blank hitbox, and it's proven again, as this time he falls down for the resets, goes for the wave dash. Evoh tried to cover it. Good placement from Daniel. Daniel pinch off to the backboard. What will Evoh do with time and space? He's got a bounce dribble started, or a high bounce for an air dribble started, I should say. And he's not one to pass up that opportunity very often, so he will take into the air. He recovers for this one, and wow, Daniel, he read that. Evoh did not have to save this directly off the backboard like he did. He could have tried to control it, but he wanted to set up like a counterattack. And Daniel said, I'm not leaving. I'll just intercept your counterattack. Evoh, actually a really solid take. But Daniel got the save. Daniel's going to flick top left. Wow, look at the Batmobile going to work. That is exactly what the Batmobile can do. Not to discredit the driver behind it, but certainly can turn everybody into a player who can hit moxie flicks, it seems. Daniel, strong touch. Evoh, actually a really great save at the end of the day. Kept it glued to the back wall, which could have been dangerous if he didn't get it past the net, but he did. Daniel able to regain possession though. Gonna play the ground game. Wow, what a surprising launch. It just can come out of nowhere in the Batmobile. Daniel thinking, oh, I'll just turn and challenge on this ball, but so easy to slip underneath the ball with a low-rise car or such a low hitbox. When you're on an Octane, it takes like 6 touches to just chip the ball up, get underneath it, set up the flick. Batmobile, you can just scoop underneath it and launch one. Evoh gets a third. Kickoff win for Evoh. Probably going to need to see a slew of effective kickoffs for Evoh if he wants to bring this one back, and certainly needs to see less midfield whiffs. And Evoh wants to go next. He's not even going to wait out the 1 minute 36. He said, I've had enough. Get me into game 3, as Daniel goes up 2-0. Game 3. 2 quick forfeits from Evoh, as he seems unable to handle the Danmobile. Daniel playing a bit of keep away as he's up to the ball with that long car. Taps it around the oncoming challenge. Daniel, strong first touch. Not one he can follow up. He actually did not get the boost. The hitbox always seems to favor the higher player, and Evoh was actually over the top of him. Evoh has, almost exclusively been scoring through the air. He's done a decent job at that, but the problem is Daniel's had the edge pretty much everywhere else. You think Evoh doesn't have a Batmobile? Chat suggesting that Evoh probably must not have a Batmobile, otherwise he would switch to it. Evoh, a demo and a goal. The time to turn it around is now. Certainly does not have another chance after their first couple forfeits. Daniel putting the ball in a tough position for Evoh off the kickoff. Evoh gets the first save, has picked up very little pads in the process, but enough to get a flick past Daniel. Oh, Evoh missed a touch. Daniel, the thing about the Batmobile too is you can get powerful flicks out of nothing. You do not need boost to launch amazing flicks. Although that one is certainly not one of them. As Daniel just softly tapped it to Evoh. I think the Batmobile on occasion comes out on the item shop. Yeah, you can get it. Ooh, Evoh redirecting the touch by Daniel, which I think was headed across the net here. Yeah, that was. Will this be an immediate goal for Daniel? It will. Thought maybe the bounce was a bit too deep, but it was not. Daniel able to get underneath it. Daniel, short dribble. As he falls outside the box, Evoh eats it up. He has stayed relevant here in this game. Even has a lead. I think there's over a minute left in both of the last two games in which we've already felt like there was no coming back. Daniel not going to be able to get his own back corner boost. Doesn't seem interested in that anyways. Just seems to ignore both Evoh and the boost as he looks to carry the ball. Now he's stuck with 0 and he's in a tough spot. Evoh air dribble bump. No, he actually just goes for a delayed touch and it works out well. Daniel doesn't really have a lot of boost to attack him early. He has to try and make a read off the back wall, which will not stop Evoh. Evoh all the way from his back wall. Reset. Oh my goodness, Evoh. That's what I was talking about. Evoh has not had the problem of not being able to hang in the air. He is definitely crisp with his mechanics today. Now he's getting a bit of separation when he needs it most. Evoh could not pre-jump to cut that off, but he actually did what mattered, which is that he covered the entire net, forced Daniel to hit it wide. Daniel, great fake. Evoh in and out. Not able to get back down. Daniel gifted the ball here at the midfield. Just waiting, shadowing, prepping for that touch, and Evoh thought he could get past him, I guess. Sent it out ahead, and Daniel collects. So a minute 30. Daniel certainly wants his full sweep. Bumped by Evoh. Daniel will now tie it up. Demoed right as the ball goes through. Evoh, a little camera check on the air dribble to see what he has to do to protect the dribble. Very interesting use of the camera. Evoh's always been somebody who has been ahead of the game in terms of camera use. Doesn't seem to bother him much at all to adjust it while he's doing anything. Wow, what a huge launch. Evoh wanted to connect with the tail end of that Batmobile for a demo. Didn't get it. Daniel left the play so far. Evoh taps into the crossbar. Daniel, can he get the shot on 0 boost? He's off target. Evoh sends it across the nets. Daniel forced it back off. Will he try and intercept here early? He will. He bumped Evoh, but Evoh should be able to get back to this. Daniel did not recover. Daniel was expecting it to be a little bit faster. I want to watch it again from Daniel's perspective because it actually did seem like he got back, but he was expecting Evoh to be there earlier, or he just missed his touch by a couple pixels. If Evoh was there earlier, that was the right position to be. And now he is down 1. 10 seconds left to go. Evoh taps one to the back wall. He's trying to play a bit of keep away. It will play right into Daniel's hands, though. Will it be a full field dribble to end the game? That is not the kind of dribble you need. You need one that's going to go into the goal, not land down to the ground at any points. And Daniel drops one in game 3. Evoh stays alive. Game number 4. Evoh gets a game and starts what would be a very impressive reverse sweep if he were able to get it. The Danmobile catches its first loss. Daniel pinning on the backboard into the corner. A lot of players will try and go for the psychos nowadays on those doubles instead of just tapping them defensively. Of course, it's super risky, and I don't think I've ever seen it work, but doesn't mean players don't try it. Daniel, not one of those players. Wanted to play it safer. Didn't matter, though. Still ended up getting scored on. Daniel, early flip. Don't know if he thought Evoh was challenging there or what. Evoh got it just enough. Just enough past. 2-0. Evoh stopping the Daniel pop-off. Daniel recovery is more than enough to handle it, though, so he'll try again from his own back corner. As the resets, lets it fall. Evoh covers the bounce. Evoh now hook shots. 3-0. Evoh all of a sudden is just fully controlling this game. Seems to be speedier as he taps over the top of Daniel. Kind of stuff that he was having done to him earlier. Evoh ends up launching himself straight down with the resets. Plays it off the bounce instead. Daniel has yet to score as we approach the 2 minutes into the game. And he will break Evoh down on the bounce dribble. Evoh, you can see he's sort of creeping out on each one of those fakes, trying to cover the hook shot. Once he found himself past the play, he jumps and turns in order to cover the near post. And only then does Daniel put it past him. Will Daniel change cars if he loses? I don't know. What do you guys think? Ones in chat if you think that Daniel will stick with the Batmobile. Twos if you think he will change. And then I'll tell you what I think. Daniel long clear. Looks like the majority of chat seems to think he will change. I personally think he'll play Batmobile till the series ends. I don't know why. But I think he's in a Batmobile mood now, even if he loses 2 straight. But it's all just a guess. He certainly is having a tough time in game number 2. I guess it depends. If game 2 goes really bad, that might be a different story. But I think if he makes this one respectable, then he tries to finish it out in the Batmobile. Or you know what? Maybe it won't even be game 5. That's all it takes, is a single goal to kind of feel the spirits rise. At least, you know, that's what I would think. My feelings of his percent chance to win go up immensely, seeing his second goal, him doubling his score. Certainly seems to inspire hope, but Evoh still with a 3-goal lead. Daniel doubles this one into the ceiling. He'll take it to the midfield. Evoh wants to start the dribble for him. Says, hey, I got you, buddy. Don't you worry. And Daniel, the reset, actually goes low. Normally, a kind of reset that is not a great one to take because the defender gets to stay grounded pretty much and counterattack you quickly. But Evoh's even slight jump was enough to lead to a double touch for Daniel. And that is also very important, sticking around the ball and making sure you have follow-up plays as well. Evoh air dribble. Found himself too far past it. Very clear, telegraphed way that Evoh, is forced to recover from that. Use his boost to get back on the right side of the ball. Not very likely that he'll get like a clean reset, so there's not a lot to worry about. Daniel flicks, save, and gets demoed. Evoh will pick up the midfield 100 as well. A hesitation as he starts his dribble to try and get Daniel out of position. Smooth catch and ridiculous flick by Daniel. Certainly courtesy of the Batmobile. And he has to play this slow, really smart play. He couldn't score quickly, but he was able to threaten as if he could get Evoh up off the back wall when really Evoh could have just rolled down onto the ground and stayed low. There was no way Daniel was shooting on that opposite side of the net, but he made it seem like he might be. And now he's got 40 seconds to get one more. Evoh long shot, that'll be saved. But how will the recovery go for Daniel? He's got the corner boost. Evoh has set him up for a dribble. Daniel, can he catch this and make something out of it? Probably not after his reset drops very short of the net. Evoh will get a goal of his own, so it's looking like game number 5 is quite likely. Will it happen in the Batmobile, or will it be a new car for Daniel? Like I said, my guess is it stays Batmobile. I think this was a decent enough game. I think Daniel will stick with it for the whole series, but you never know. Daniel wants to go next. Okay, he's out of the match. It seems like he's not going Batmobile, guys. We'll let Evoh hit a nice shot instead of pausing it on him. Looks like the tours were right. Either that or he's just going to change the color of his Batmobile to really throw us through a loop. Game 5, Daniel back into the Fennec. All the tours in chat, go ahead and pat yourselves on the back. You were right. Daniel, indeed, was not going to stick with the Batmobile any longer. You think it's Dandroid? See, I'm not sure we have Dandroid or not. I think Daniel will play in the Fennec and even not necessarily play like Dandroid. We'll have to watch his POV. He is in the K-Corp decal. Daniel instantly using the flip to catch back up to the play. I would say that his aerial game seems upgraded, but honestly, he was doing that in the Batmobile as well. Kickoff win, or maybe not for Daniel. He was going to be first to the boost, or so he thought, but Evoh was on the wave dash kickoff, and everything seems to be favoring Daniel right now. All this midfield scrumming and speeding to the ball is paying off in favor of Dan. Yeah, definitely not Dandroid after that air dribble. Evoh out of his own back wall. Oh, nice little touch. I mean, it's such a soft one, and you'd think that it would not be something that would outplay a defender like Daniel, but it's so unorthodox. Not often somebody just go for like, oh, it's a bump as well too. And I guess that's really the key, is that it's a bump, but not often does somebody use boost like that when they're on such a downward trajectory just to fight it back ever so slightly. You're not going to get like a lot of movement payoff for all the boost it costs, but what matters is that it's not what the defenders expect. This is going to be shootable. That's going to roll right out to the middle of the field. Daniel, 50. Will fake this one. With camera check to see what he's dealing with. Evoh, and he didn't see him. Or his camera check didn't help him. Either way, he didn't want to jump, so he gets bumped. And now Evoh. That's certainly not the setup he wanted. But he quickly recognized he was in trouble. And left the play in order to prevent another quick goal for Daniel. Daniel, 050. Now playing a little bit more Dandroidy here as he just slowly tries to work the ball towards Evoh and wait for Evoh to make a mistake. This flick gets just enough over the top. And it gets sent into the ceiling, into the back wall where he can follow it up as opposed to slightly out to the midfield, which is all Evoh really needed. Anything but allowing it to continue to the orange half. Evoh going to stop this kickoff goal as he sends it high. 0 boost now, so not likely to be able to continue his possession. Really just has to hand it back over to Daniel, who will start it from ceiling height in the back corner. Drops before the midfield line. Evoh actually so close to getting a punish, but it's crossbar and out. As we approach halfway, Daniel, a 2-goal lead. Evoh pass to himself off the ceiling, gets the reset, but we watched it from Daniel's perspective. He had a read on the play the whole way. Evoh can't get the double touch. Daniel on pads sees his opportunity to dive. He was just starting to work over the arc of pads and was just going to take his opportunity to strike when it presented itself. It happened to present itself right away. Daniel now on 100. Evoh to keep his dribble at ceiling height as he sees Daniel moving to the ground to defend, and he tries to put it behind him, but Daniel covers it. Daniel's defense is keeping his lead safe right now. This flicked way short. Sometimes it's not the end of the world. It's such an awkward position that your defender, you never thought you'd flub the flick that much. It's actually it puts the ball behind them and they can't really control it. Whereas a strong flick in the direction that the defender is expecting is probably the worst case scenario, assuming you don't just get it completely past them because they get to make that save with their momentum. But a lot of midfield back and forth. Evoh's going to have a ton of space as he takes up to the air. Daniel waiting. Evoh just got 50. Yeah, I mean, you could tell Evoh on the right side of the ball heavy. Daniel on the left side. Not really much he could do here, especially without a reset. All he can do is try and dunk it in. Notice the way that Evoh has his wheels landing on that. Even if he doesn't win the 50, he's going to have a really quick recovery, which is so important. He's not just trying to win it. He's trying to have a contingency plan as well. In this case, he does score, though, so down 1, undercutting Daniel. Daniel is on absolutely nothing. He has pads to pick up as Evoh starves him out. He will get his midfield. And Evoh has the reset, fakes it. Daniel, dude, he has not been caught by those. And most defenders are. I don't know how else to put it. Those fakes are very convincing by Evoh. And Daniel never overcommits defensively. It's been very impressive, and it might be the difference. Daniel stealing the ball at the top of Evoh's car. Demo, and now Evoh, only with 12 boosts to work with, is probably going to take it to the midfield 100, but he doesn't have time to. Now he has the 100. Cuts the ball in field. Wants a 50. Wants Daniel to make a mistake, but Daniel just absolutely stone cold. Refuses to approach the ball. Just sits there waiting. Knows Evoh's trying to bait him into a 50, and he refuses to take it. So it's Evoh resetting on possession. Daniel waiting in nets. Creeps out a little bit, pre-jumps, and he does force it to the ground. He knows it might sneak underneath him, but as soon as that ball hits grass, the game is over. And Daniel wins in Game 5 against Evoh.